हेलो एवरीवन, कैसे हो आप लोग। माई सेल्फ चेतन गर्ग, आई एम मास्टर टीचर here at Vedantu. I welcome you all to our RMO flashback series. In today's lecture, we will be discussing first two questions of year 1997. Right, one of these questions is from geometry, and the other one is from number theory. Both of these questions are easy, and in fact, one is of kind of NTSC level, and other one is a good application of Euclid division lemma. Right. So let's start our session, and before starting, I'll just give you one information that currently here at Vedantu we are running pre-RMO, RMO and INMO batches. Those who have not appeared for pre-RMO yet or have not cleared pre-RMO yet, they should simply visit our website olympia.vedantu.com. Here we have provided each and every information regarding pre-RMO batches, right? And those who have already cleared pre-RMO or RMO, they should just mail me their name, class, contact number, address, and proof that you have cleared either of these exams on this email ID, chetan.garg@vedantu.com. Those who have cleared pre-RMO, we will enroll you to RMO batches, and those who have cleared RMO, we will enroll you to INMO batches, right? And all these batches are completely free of cost. You do not need to pay even a single rupee to enroll in these batches, right? So let's start our session. This is the first question of year 1997, and in fact, if you have not tried this question, I'll simply I request you to please take your time and just try this question. This is an easy question, and this question is of kind of NTSC level, so you will be easily able to solve this question, right? So the question says that let P is an interior point of a triangle ABC, and let BP and CP meet AC and AB in E and F respectively. If area of triangle BPF is 4 and that of BPC is 8 and that of CP is 13, we need to find the area of this quadrilateral AFPE, right? So let's first draw the figure. Let's assume this is triangle ABC and P is any interior point, and BP and CP meets AC and AB in E and F. Okay, so let's draw any two random lines starting from B and C. Let's assume the point of intersection is P and BP meets in E and CP meets AB at F, right? So what we are given? We are given with the area of triangle BPF, that is 4 units, and that of BPC, okay, this one, that is 8 units, and that of CP is 13 units, right? We need to find the area of this quadrilateral AFPE. So this is what we need to find, right? Alright, so this is an easy question. Let's just join AP, right? Let's assume this area to be X and this area to be Y, right? So area of triangle AFP, we have assumed this area to be X, right? And area of triangle AEP, let's assume this area to be Y. Okay, so what we need to find? We need to find actually X plus Y. This is what we need to find, right? And in fact, a simple result that we know in any triangle, right? Let's say if ABC is a triangle, right? And let's say this is any point D and here it is any point E, right? So area of triangle ABD upon area of triangle ADC, that will be simply BD upon DC, right? Because height is same in both the cases, and that should also be equal to area of triangle BED upon area of triangle ECD, right? Because simply height will be same for both the triangles and bases are in the ratio of BD upon DC, right? So if we consider area of triangle ABE, right, upon area of triangle BEC, area of triangle ABE will be how much? 4 plus X plus Y, and that of BEC, area of triangle BEC is 8 plus 13, that is 21, right? And this should be equal to what? This should be equal to area of triangle, in fact that will be equal to AE upon EC, because height is same for both the triangles, and in fact AE upon EC, that should also be equal to area of triangle this APE upon area of triangle this PEC, because again height is same in both the cases, and this is actually bases are in the ratio of AE is to EC, right? So APE upon PEC, that is nothing but Y upon 13, right? So we have found an equation here that this thing 4 plus X plus Y upon 21, that is actually equal to Y upon 13, right? Similarly, if we consider area of triangle AFC upon area of triangle BFC, right? Since height is same in both the cases, so we can say, acha, this area will be x plus y plus 13 upon 8 plus 4, that will be 12, right? That is equal to AF upon FB, because height is same for both the triangles, and that should also be equal to area of triangle APF by the same logic, है ना, upon area of triangle BPF. Again, height is same for both the cases and bases are in the ratio of AF is to FB, and that is nothing but x by 4. Okay, so we have got another equation, x plus y plus 13 upon 12, that is equal to x by 4, right? And we need to find this value x plus y. Let's assume this thing to be equal to t, and now we have to find the value of t, right? Okay, so the equation reduces to this first equation reduced to 4 plus t upon 21. Let's cross multiply by 13, right? Plus, okay, that will cancel out by this 3, we can say, right? We are just adding these two equations, right? So this it becomes t plus 4 upon 21 multiplied by 13. So we are left with y on the right hand side, and here we have cancelled out this factor 3, and when we add these two things, we will get y plus x, because 13 we have already close multiplied here. Okay, so on the left hand side, on the right hand side, what we got, y plus x, that will be t only, right? And this thing will become x plus y plus 13 upon 3, and x plus y is nothing but we have assumed it to be t, right? So just simplify these two equations. What we will get, 52 plus 13t, take 21 as LCM, so here it will become 70 plus 91, right? 21 is the LCM, just cross multiply it on the right hand side, right? So 13t plus 70, 20t. If we take this factor on the right hand side, what we will get, 21t minus 20t, that will be equal to t, and 52 plus 91, that is equal to 143. So the value of t will be simply 143. So area of this polylateral AFPE, this is nothing but 143, right? So 143 was our answer, and as you can see, this is pretty easy question. This only involves area, ratio of areas of two triangles, right? And we can simply use the formula half of base into height, right? So that's this question is basically the level of NTSC level, right? In NTSC exam, generally these type of questions are being asked. Alright, so let's proceed to the second question. This question is from number theory, and this is a simple application of Euclid division lemma, right? Okay, the question states that for each positive integer n, an is defined as 20 plus n square, right? And dn is the GCD of an and an plus 1, right? We need to find the set of all values that are taken by dn and show by examples that each of these values are obtained. All right, right? So let's find the GCD of an and an plus 1, right? So an will be simply, okay, we will write the GCD like in the bracket only, right? 20 plus n square, and an plus 1 will be simply 20 plus n plus 1 whole square, right? And we know GCD of a b is same as GCD of a comma b minus a, right? So just subtract b minus a here. What we will get? We will get 20 plus n square, right? Comma, that will be nothing but 2n plus 1, I guess. Yes, 2n plus 1, right? All right. Since 2n plus 1 is clearly an odd number, and if we multiply anything 20 plus n square with any only with the power of 2, right? With let's say with 2, 4, 8 or anything like 2 power k, GCD will remain unchanged, because clearly 2 is not a factor of this 2n plus 1, as it is an odd number. So just multiplying this thing by 4. Why 4? Because we just want to convert 2n square here, right? So it will become 80 plus 4n, 4n square, and here it will be 2n plus 1, right? So this will be GCD of these two will be same, right? So 80 plus 4n square, let's add 1 here and subtract 1 from 4n square, right? Why are we doing this? we are just creating a factor 2n plus 1 on the first number on the left hand side, right? So this simply becomes 81 plus 2n minus 1 into 2n plus 1, right, comma GCD of 2n plus 1, right? Clearly this thing is a multiple of 2n plus 1, so GCD will be given by simply 81 comma 2n plus 1, right? That will be the GCD, right? As you can see, this is an odd number, so any factor of 81, right, will be the GCD. So what can be the possible values of GCD? They are simply the factors of 81, divisors of 81. These are 1, 3, as this is 3 power 4, so we can say 1, 3, 9, 27 and 81. These are the possible values of GCD, and they obviously can be achieved, right? 3 can be achieved at say n equal to 1, and 9 can be achieved at, let's say, n equal to 4, and 27 can be achieved at n equals to 13, right? Because 13 into 2, 26 plus 1, 27. Similarly, 81 can be achieved at what value? At, yes, at n equals to 40, right? Now you can ask when 1 will be achieved. 1 can be achieved at any other value. Let's say we substitute n equals to 2, okay? Because clearly we cannot substitute n equals to 0, because in the question it was mentioned that for positive integer n. Let's say we substitute n equals to 2. So what will be an? An will be 20 plus 2 square, that will be 24, right? And what will be an plus 1? It will be simply 20 plus 3 square, that will be 29. And as you can see, the GCD of these two numbers is clearly 1, right? If you substitute n equal to 1, an will be simply 20 plus 1 square, that will be 21, and an plus 1 will be 20 plus 2 square, that will be simply 24. And you can clearly see the GCD of these two things will be 3. Similarly, 9, 27 and 81, they can be achieved when n is equals to 4, 13 and 40 respectively, right? So as you can see, this is just a simple application of Euclid division lemma, right, in which we can achieve majorly this thing is being applied, right? GCD of A and B is same as GCD of A comma B minus A, or any multiple of A comma K times B minus A, right? So these are the two questions of year 1997, and that's it from today's session. And before ending the session, I'll again give one information that the students who have already cleared pre-RMO or RMO, they will be directly enrolled to RMO and INMO batches respectively. Okay. All you need to do is just mail me this detail, your name, class, contact number, proof and address on this email ID. Right. Those who have cleared pre-RMO, we will simply enroll you to RMO batches, and those who have cleared RMO, we will simply enroll you to INMO batches. All these batches are completely free of cost. You do not need to pay even a single rupee to enroll in these batches, right? So see you in the next session. In the next session, we will be discussing next two questions of year 1997, right? Till then, take a very good care of yourself. Thank you. Bye bye.